Good morning, it's Kinninigan. Look, I'm a little cranky when I don't have weed, so yeah, I'm a little cranky today. I know the UFO files are being released today. Um, Quite honestly, I don't care. What am I going to learn from the U.S. government? I've been doing this shit for almost 20 years. I consider myself the authority on quote unquote interdimensional beings. I have a working scientific theory. By the way, this is called zeditism. There's a name for what I do. Zetitism or zetiquism is a French word, zetique. It is applying the scientific method to paranormal subjects. And I have a working theory on how, quote unquote, interdimensional reptilians are able to come into our realm. That's my lecture on Han Purple, Mercury, and Blood. I also explain why all the terracotta warriors and emperor tombs in China are covered in Han Purple, and why rivers of, quote unquote, liquid mercury are around um, inside these tombs. They've also found liquid mercury at the Aztec temples. Quetzalcoatl, the plumed serpent. I know more about interdimensional beings. The little alien grays that most people think they're not aliens. Those are biological clones, or in some cases, demons. As per Aleister Crowley himself, with the demon he summoned named Lamb. By the way, Lamb is the 71st syllable of the 72 syllable lost word of God that Zionists are looking for. There's a reason I'm talking about Zionists here, too. Um, Currently, now, if you want to support my channel, that's fine. Links are in the description. If you want to help me, I'm trying to raise about $33. Yeah, Illuminati, so get some marijuana for a few days. I'm not doing too good financially. So I just take off. But I'm going to tell you this right now. I don't care about this UFO disclosure because I don't trust our government. How the hell are Zionists and members of secret societies who worship reptilians, who practice their black magic, which is demonic invocation? All right, they brought black magic to this planet. How the hell are you going to learn about reptilians from a bunch of warmongering Zionist pedophiles who actually worship these entities? They're not going to tell you. Oh, are they really going to tell you the truth about reptilians? I'm waiting for some reptilian bullshit to drop with this, and then I'm going to rip it apart. You want to really learn about then, by the way, there's two species of reptilians on the planet: native Terran reptilians and alpha draconians. And I see a lot of disinformation shills out there. Like, I hate to say this, I'm not happy about anyone dying, but David Wilcock, yeah, go look up his videos on reptilians. It's a joke. They were pushing the secret space program, blue chicken shit with Corey Good. They were pushing that this white-winged Draco reptilian named Pindar. Well, guess what? Pindar is the name of a Greek philosopher. It's not even a Sumerian word. Um, the Alpha Draconians are the Anunnaki and the Ajiji from Sumeria, period. That's what they are. And there's only about 313 of them on planet Earth. I am afraid, now I have a book I'm working on, and quite honestly, I'm afraid of publishing my book because I think the information is too good. So I don't give a shit. And by the way, I was at Area 51 in 2019. I filmed UFOs there, and I filmed free energy. Now, if anything would get me killed over those subjects, it would be the subject of free energy, because that's how that's how you become a debt slave. Look at the petrodollar. Look, this is what's going on in Iran and the Strait of Hormuz right now. They are crashing the global economy for the Great Reset. And the whole point of Zionists is to usher in a reptilian transgender antichrist. Like I said, you're going to learn the truth about reptilians from people trying to usher in the reptilian antichrist? No, you're not. So, yeah, I'm a little cranky today. Look, I know I don't give a shit about the UFO disclosure. I've been doing my own disclosure for the past 20 years. And I'm telling you right now, the government is aware of me. They knew who I was when I went to Area 51 in 2019 because they didn't threaten me. They actually, when I showed up to Area 51, they're like, yeah, we know who Kinninigan is. And I filmed all kinds of neat stuff when I was there. Didn't have to worry about getting arrested from the camo guys. The CIA, I'm pretty damn sure they knew I was there. They probably knew when I showed up in Las Vegas. I'm not even joking about that. They knew who I was. Um, I, in a strange kind of way, I think a lot of people within the deep state are fascinated by the work I do. I think maybe that's why they let me live. Like this guy, we can't stand him, but his information is solid, and he's got a brain that we can't even like comprehend. Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I get cranky when I don't smoke because my brain goes all over the place. I can't concentrate on. I can think very quickly, but good luck trying to keep up with me. It's just the way my brain works. So look, I don't care. Look, uh, oh, this is Anna Paulina. I don't trust her. I don't trust anyone in Congress. Yeah, yeah. I don't call them. I use the term interdimensional beings. Well, can you explain how quote unquote interdimensional beings break through interdimensional portals into our realm? I'll give you a hint. It happens with black magic, secret societies. You want to summon a demon? Go to the Masonic temple and do high level ceremonial black magic. Yeah, you'll open interdimensional portals. That's what I mean. How the hell are you going to get the truth off these people? The whole point of this fake alien invasion was to sell the world that demons are actually aliens and they're our friends. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Well, these are fucking psychopaths trying to usher in the Antichrist, who is going to be a reptilian, by the way. Because the Pharisees who condemned and crucified Jesus were reptilian. There were 72 of them. They carried the oral tradition of Babylon. And I'm telling you right now, Zionists are in a lot of deep shit because they broke their own rules when it comes to Babylonian Talmud, specifically pedophilia. The biggest threat to global civilization right now is not interdimensional reptilians. And I've studied reptilians. They're dangerous, but they're parasites. It'd be like getting mad at a mosquito for landing on you and sucking blood out of you. This is what they do. It's in their DNA, and it's what they are. Um, The biggest threat to global civilization right now are unhinged psychopathic Zionists. They have wiped their ass with the Bible. They have wiped their ass with Luciferian doctrine. They're unhinged. They don't feel like they need to answer or have accountability to anyone. And when I say Zionist, that's a specific group of people. That has nothing to do with being Jewish. In fact, most real Jews aren't Zionists. Um, This is the biggest threat to global peace right now. You have more to worry about Benjamin Netanyahu than you do Marduk. Okay? I'm telling you that right now. Because humans are doing it under their own free will to other humans. And it isn't aliens that you need to worry about. It's Zionist psychopaths. And that's the truth. And a lot of these Zionist psychopaths actually practice black magic. Although I have some theories that they're not putting out very powerful magicians right now because guess what? They broke the laws of Babylonian Talmud. Demons do not have to fucking serve you just because you invoke them. Demons have rules they follow. Lucifer even has rules that he has to follow. And at this point, I see people like Benjamin Netanyahu being more unhinged and a bigger threat to global security than Lucifer and all the reptilians combined. And that's the truth because you're not just going to interact with an Alpha Draconian reptilian. You're not going to run into them on the street. And to perform these rituals to get them to come through the fourth dimension with my Han Purple, first you need Han Purple, you need Mercury, you need a temple that is built for, you know, invo- invocation of these entities, which, they built them in ancient times, like the Temple of Jupiter in ancient Rome. They built temples. Going back to Zionists, you have the Temple of Solomon. Solomon was a magi. He wasn't a king. He was a black magician. He controlled the 72 demons from the Lesser King. That's what these entities are. And I film UAPs, if you want to call them that. But But not only that, but I filmed them utilizing free energy when I went to Area 51. I have that on video. Maybe I'll. So you just want disclosure? I could do a video tonight where I could show you all the stuff I have from reptilians, shit I filmed at Area 51. I got alien grays on my channel flying a triangle anti-gravity ship. It's a Turkey UFO incident. It's on my channel here. I've done lectures about Dulce Base. I've been doing lectures about reptilians for a long time. So, like, I don't care. And I'm sure a lot of other bigger YouTube channels are doing financially well here on YouTube. This will just give them new stuff to make videos about. Yeah, good for them. Um, I guess there's a rule you can learn here. If you're putting out the real truth about interdimensional beings, expect to live in poverty and be cranky every day, right? Ain't that the truth? It is. Yeah, it is. Um, there's nothing they're going to release in these files that I don't know or haven't. What the only thing I'm looking forward to is what kind of bullshit spin did they put on this? You really think the government's going to tell you the truth about Alpha Draconian reptilians? They don't even know what they look like. Well, allegedly. They say they don't. That's bullshit. I'm telling you right now, the symbol of the Alpha Draconian Empire is the American eagle, period. This is why you had the eagle used in Rome, the Nazis used it, we use it, and it's avian symbols like the double phoenix, the falcon, different types of avian birds because they are avian in nature. They're not even so. And then you have native Terran reptilians who are actually indigenous to this planet, hence they are not aliens. Sasquatch is not an alien. He's indigenous to this planet. Native Terran reptilians. And they finally just came out with a scientific peer-reviewed journal, I covered it, known as the Celeron hypothesis, in which scientists are now admitting, you know what, maybe during the time of dinosaurs, an intelligent reptilian civilization did evolve, and they were destroyed with the dinosaurs. Yeah, that was the native Terran reptilians. They admitted that years ago. So, whatever. Telling you, most of the quote unquote UAPs that you see flying in the sky, they're not alien. They're ours. They might have been back engineered using certain technologies and stuff, but did you know that Nikola Tesla built a diagram on how to make a UFO work while he was still alive? Yeah, he did. He understood anti gravity. They stole all of Nikola Tesla's work when he died, including free energy. Most of the technologies that we have today were stolen from Nikola Tesla, including the shit I was filming at Area 51. You know who runs Area 51? The Department of Energy. That was the biggest surprise when I went to Area 51. I'm thinking I'm going to see signs from the U.S. Air Force. No, you get to the gate of Area 51, and it says Department of Energy. I'm like, energy? You're kidding me. And then, yeah, so it's kind of my rant here. I know everyone's been emailing me, telling me disclosures happen. I don't. Yeah, and then we got the Steven Spielberg movie coming out in about a month, June 12th, Disclosure Day. The only thing I'm interested in that movie is in the trailer. If you watch it, one of the characters in that trailer shapeshifts. Goes from a human to a human, but still shapeshifts. Um, I don't like anything the government has been doing with quote unquote alien disclosure because, quite honestly, they're a bunch of pedophile, fucking narcissistic, Zionist loving joke of human beings. Yeah, what about the Epstein files? I'm more interested in seeing pedophiles being arrested than UFO disclosure. I don't need them for UFO disclosure. They want to learn about reptilians, they can get a hold of me. I'll go fucking brief the Pentagon on shape-shifting reptilians. And these alien greys that they're going to try to put off as aliens, those are invoked through black magic rituals, okay? I learned that from Aleister Crowley himself. who I honestly believe was a reptilian. Um, so yeah, disclosure day, whatever. Keep people distracted. That's you know. So I'm not looking forward to anything the government puts out about aliens or interdimensional beings. Remember, most people in your government, including a Supreme Court justice, doesn't even know what a woman is. Yeah, these tranny loving Zionist piece of shit pedophiles. Oh yeah, they're gonna give us the truth about interdimensional beings. Yeah, get the hell out of here. They're the only ones practicing black magic and invoking these entities. It's not us. So anyway, yeah. So that's my rant about disclosure. I don't need the government to teach me about aliens. Actually it's the other way around. I'll teach them about aliens and reptilians. It's probably a reason when I went to Area 51 in 2019, they didn't bother me. They said, "Oh, Kenny's here." And I have quite a few subs on my channel who follow me who are ex. One's an ex Freemason. Tells me, Ken, you're not that crazy. And quite a few ex working black magicians who kind of agree with the same thing. Like, yeah, these are demonic entities. And Aleister Crowley actually disclosed that to the world with his representation of Lamb, who gave him the Book of the Law. That's the 71st demon in the Lesser Key of Solomon, known as Dandelion. They have names also. If you're going to invoke a demon, you need to know its name so you can bind it to your will. I know a lot about black magic and how it actually works. And like I said, what I do is zetetism, zetetism, zetikism, or zetik. That is applying the scientific method to paranormal subjects. And quite honestly, I've been doing this almost 20 years. There isn't anyone online or anywhere who's even taught me anything about reptilians. I've had to find all this information out myself. This is why I don't cite other reptilian researchers because I don't care what they do. Everyone can do their own thing. These are my theories. These are my opinions. I don't need to bring up other people. If you notice one thing, with a lot of people that don't know what the hell they're talking about when they get into these subjects, they cite the research of other people. That's bad. You don't want to be quoting Zachariah Stitchin and David Icke if you want to learn the truth about reptilians, because you're not going to find it. By the way, both of those men are Freemason. I'm not a Freemason. Most of the people in charge of this quote unquote UFO disclosure are going to be members of secret societies. How do we know Anna Paulina is not an Eastern Star? I don't trust any woman in Congress. Just saying. I don't even think all of them are really quote unquote women. Just saying. Some of them are. Yeah, so go ahead. Go depend on a bunch of witches and warlocks from secret societies and Zionists who want to usher in the reptilian antichrist for the New World Order to teach you the truth about interdimensional beings and aliens. That's a joke. Anyway, so look, and if I take a couple days off from YouTube, people, you don't have to email me. I'm not going anywhere, okay? Like I said, the deep state keeps me around for a reason. I wonder why. And I got cats. All right, my cats get taken care of. There's no way. So if you could support the channel, I'd appreciate it. Otherwise, I'll just could be fucking cranky. That's it. Yeah, that's all. Yeah. Here we go. Suppose you have disclosure in 3 hours. Let's see. Yeah. I predict a bunch of old clips and super redacted papers. Yeah, unless they put out a a disclosure statement saying if you want to learn about interdimensional beings, you need to find Kinninigan, the Book of Reptilians on YouTube. If they did that, then maybe we can get somewhere. Why is my the font so small? All right, not a big deal. Anyway, any questions or comments, leave them below. God bless and take care.